Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. What is up? Top King I123 here once again with another Hearts of Iron 4 Officer School video. And as you can tell on your screen and by the title, we are covering divisions today. Now, these divisions are some of the most overpowered divisions in Hearts of Iron 4, and some of these you may not be able to use in multiplayer. What I mean by that is, depending on what game you join, some of them may have rules on no more than a certain number of artillery, no more than a certain number of tanks in a division, and so on, but you shouldn't really have that kind of an issue. I've only encountered one problem like that ever in my past, and that was actually a friend who told me that they were kicked out of a game by using, I want to say it was actually this division right here, because it's so overpowered and it's so good, and nobody can break that division right there. And actually, I made a video on it yesterday about how overpowered that division actually is, and used it to conquer Germany by letting them send their manpower to it. So enough chit chat, let's go ahead and get on to this video. So first off, we're going to be covering let's go ahead and cover the infantry division, because I made this kind of late, that's why it's down here. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way. It's a very simple layout, and you can really do this one of two ways. First off, you can either have half of the infantry if you don't have a lot of manpower. Germany has a lot right now, that's why I have this set up. But basically, it's just a ridiculous number of defense. We've got 801 defense. Now, these guys are best used if you have a bunker on them. Now, if you also have the ability to get support rocket artillery, regular artillery, and a logistics company. Now, this can work very well for minor nations as well, such as Austria, Bulgaria, Romania, probably Czechoslovakia, since they go to war with Germany kind of early on. These divisions are really universal, this division is really universal. It works for everybody. And the reason I urge this division, if you're going to be a defensive nation, is because all you're paying for is support equipment, infantry equipment. It depends if you have rocket artillery or not. Rocket artillery and regular artillery. That's all you're doing. And if you have a logistics company on here with minus 20% of your supply, this is one of the best divisions in the game. And in my opinion, this is the best division you can ever possibly get in this game, especially if you're going to be a defensive nation. Now, you can actually do half of these, and they work still pretty good, but I highly recommend, if you're going to use this as a defensive division, put them somewhere where there's a bunker. Now let's go ahead and start from the top of the list and work our way down. This one right here is an all-around offensive and defensive tank division. Well, not even tank division, it's more infantry division. And you do kind of need high production for this because of the heavy tank, and depending on how many infantry you have. One thing I like to do is, if I'm playing as the United States, I will try to build a few of these and mix them in with regular generals who are on the front line. So right now I've actually accidentally told them to replace all of our soldiers on the Polish and German border. Pretty much all of our divisions got replaced with it by accident. But what I probably do is have, for every 10, I would try to equip one. And the reason is because it's got good defense, it's got really good soft attack because of that tank. Like, for example, here, let's just put it as a infantry, and you can see the soft attack goes down, breakthrough plummets tremendously, and that's really where this helps out, is with the breakthrough. So now for our next one, and this is going to be kind of a light support unit in a way to support the rest of your army as it's moving forward, with a little bit of breakthrough, but a little bit of defense, a little bit of soft attack. This is kind of a minor nation. Maybe it's the United States early on, if you're worried some players playing as Canada or Mexico or something, you're worried they might invade you. Maybe try to get a couple of these divisions out. They don't require too much. And one other thing, with the support column here, you can really do whatever you want. This is just what I use across all my divisions usually, if I can. So really, this just works the best whenever you prefer. You can add an 18 here if you want. It's just up to you totally, depending on who you're going up against and how you design your divisions. Now, this works decently well with defense, and it's not that expensive in all honesty. It's just a little bit of artillery and some infantry. So that's pretty much it for that one. Now we're going to go on our Russian front division. Now, this is what I prefer to use in multiplayer if I'm invading a Russian player. And as you can tell, let me go back to the first one. I actually call these guys the Unlucky 13, or the Lucky 13, because there's 13 infantry divisions in this. 1 tank, 4 artillery. I should have said the numbers, I'm sorry. I will from now on. So here we have 15, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 infantry divisions. Excuse me. We have 4 anti-tank guns, 2 rocket artillery, and a heavy tank. Now, these guys are kind of made after that Führer Brigade up there, and these guys work really well on the Russian front. Now, with the artillery, you can either use rocket artillery or regular artillery. It does make a difference, though. The hard attack will go up a little, but you'll lose a lot of soft attack. You'll lose a lot of breakthrough. A little bit of breakthrough, I'm sorry. And your piercing will go up just a little bit. Just a little bit. So if you can, for these divisions, if you see rocket artillery or regular artillery, you can replace them with whatever you want. Same thing down here in case I forget to mention it, with light tanks to medium to heavy, light artillery or light self-propelled artillery to medium. You can replace them with whatever you want in that same category. So you could replace a light tank with a medium tank, or a light self-propelled artillery with a medium self-propelled artillery. It's entirely up to you guys. These are just templates that I use, and you can edit them at your own will. So back to what I was saying about this. So 14 infantry divisions. We have some rocket artillery with regular support artillery. Then we have some 4 anti-tank guns, 1 heavy tank, and then we have 2 support artillery here, or regular artillery. Sorry. And this works really good. I really enjoy using this because it's got a decent amount of breakthrough. It's got almost 200 breakthrough. It's got a lot of defense. It's got a good amount of hard attack and a good amount of soft attack. Now, these guys are the cheapest infantry you can possibly build. And it's got 20 combat width. And this is kind of the one I would recommend to copy my support down to the dot. And that is because with the support rocket artillery, the anti-tank, and regular artillery, if we remove that, we lose 21 defense, we lose 93 soft attack, 17 hard attack, what else? Yeah, our piercing goes down a lot. So in this situation, I would highly recommend you guys build this. Now, this actually would work pretty good if you're playing as a defensive nation, such as Austria, Bulgaria, Romania, maybe Poland, Lithuania, something like that. This should work very well. This is more of built if you have a decent amount of production, but are not able to build heavy tanks and so on. So it's kind of based on these guys. And you can really fill this up with even more infantry to max it out to the 40, so pretty much all this will double. Now for our next infantry division here, we got 2 more and then we're going on to tanks. This is used to attack mountain areas such as Italy, Switzerland, so on. Now the reason I picked this is we have 10 infantry divisions, we have 4 mountaineer divisions, and we have some rocket artillery with support artillery. Like I said, you can change this out to whatever you like. I just like having 3 regular artillery and 1 rocket artillery, since rocket artillery is a little bit more difficult to produce, if I remember correctly, and I have a lot of stuff on the side like AT and everything. And when you look over here, it's almost got 500 soft attack, plus our bonuses for attacking forts and hills and, you know, all this different kinds of stuff here. This works really, really well, in my opinion, with the engineer company and everything. So this is mainly meant for attacking Italy, Switzerland, so on. Now for our last infantry division is support artillery. This thing is a monster. There is no other way to specify it. It has 2 heavy self-propelled artillery. You don't want to build a lot of these. Even Germany will have an issue keeping these up to maintenance and separating them through the front line. I recommend you copy my support down with the all the stuff here. Put a maintenance company on here if you really want to get rid of the artillery to just help out a little bit. But then again, you do lose some of your attack and you lose a lot of soft attack. So this is mainly meant to really move up with the divisions and help with breakthrough in different areas, I guess you could say. So it's really up to you how you want to use that. Now let's get on to the fun stuff, the tank divisions. So this tank division, I know a lot of players are going to immediately say there is no motorized infantry in this. There's something wrong. Not exactly. This little breakthrough division, you can actually upgrade these to medium tanks if you wish. It's entirely up to you. And the reason I do this and have no infantry with it is look at this breakthrough. It has almost 400 breakthrough with just light tanks. Now, this division is really specified for one task, and that is going to be to break through but have infantry behind it available to capture the area to defend the tanks. That's what this division's for. So don't send this thing too far forward from your divisions. Like, for example, I would set one up probably right here to just try to link up over here with Ulspressen. Ulspressen, I think that's how you say it. And I would probably try to push through and regroup there. And because I have this infantry back here, or maybe even here, I should be able to have the tanks defended by the infantry in reserve. So take that one with a grain of salt. You know, it takes a little bit of maintenance here, but this does work decently well. Now for our next one here, it's going to be with infantry. Now, for any of the following tank divisions, you can actually swap out the motorized with mechanized, and it actually boosts up your attack tremendously, as you can tell here. Yeah, our defense goes up 67, breakthrough goes up 9, armor goes up almost 1. So really with these, you can do whatever you want. You can have motorized or mechanized. It just depends on your construction, what you got available. Now, I really like this division here. It works deep. It works pretty good against France because they do have some tank divisions here, not a crazy amount, but they do have enough to like have some resistance in the beginning. And depending on the French player, if they go communist or not, or in multiplayer, they probably will sometimes actually build up some tank armies here and try to fight you off. So I like having motorized light tanks and then immediately get tank destroyers and throw them in here and fight off the French with it, especially in multiplayer. Now for our last tank division is Rommel's Blitzkrieg. Rommel's Blitzkrieg. This is one of my favorites here. It has 5 light tanks, 2 motorized or 2 mechanized, and 2 self-propelled artillery. Now, what's preferred with this is to have medium tanks. That's what's preferred with this, all right? Because if we add medium tanks, our speed goes down, but at the same time, let's just look at that first off. Look at this soft attack. Look at this breakthrough down here. Yeah, right here. I mean, this is one of my favorite classes in multiplayer. So this is Rommel's Blitzkrieg, and the support's pretty important for this. Just make sure you replace one of these with a engineer company. It's really up to you. If you're going up against France, you probably want to keep the anti-tank, but you can lose this. Go over to maintenance. Yeah, that's not going 12 soft tack. That's not going to be that big of a deal, you know. So that's pretty much it for the tank divisions. Now let's move on to the motorized divisions. This is what I call the motorized SS division. It's got a little bit of tanks with it. It's got some motorized units here. And it's got light artillery. Now, this is pretty similar to a lot of these other tanks I'm building. But the only difference with this is I highly recommend... Well, actually, it's supposed to be on here. I'm sorry. With this, it's a rocket artillery. It's really up to you guys if you want to put a rocket artillery on this or not. I kind of messed it up a little bit here, so forgive me. Oh, where did that thing go? I am so sorry. I messed this up. Okay, here it is. So it's supposed to be 4 motorized, 1 light self-propelled artillery, 1 rocket arty, and 3 light tanks. Now, that is a lot of soft attack for such a small unit, in all honesty. I mean, this is pretty good, in my opinion. If you're able to support the build for this, this works tremendously well. Now, for our next one, we're going to be going to Motorized Breakthrough. Now, as you can see here, we have 4 motorized rocket artillery, and we have 9 motorized infantry. Now, once again, if you have the ability to make mechanized infantry, it's much more preferred to do this route. Oops. It's much more preferred to do this route because mechanized will boost you up tremendous, and I mean tremendously. I need to stop saying tremendously. Look at this. Our heart attack goes up 54. Our defense, by swapping to mechanized, goes up 300. So if you're able to do that for these, it's highly recommended to do that as fast as possible. And for the equipment on the side here, it's really up to your preferred area, I guess. But this is just how I like it. So you get an even 30 combat width here. And it really can help support the tanks in battle. So that's for that one. Now for our paratroopers. It's very simple. Just 40 combat width filled with paratroopers. Now the reason these are so simple, in case you don't know, see this? Now you can't do it. if you have anything that does not have the little logo here of the Paratrooper, it cannot be paradropped. It cannot. And because of that, you really have to go off the support equipment here. And I think the best, this is I highly recommend you copy this over. Okay? Highly recommend it. I recommend you get a support artillery, a rocket artillery, recon, logistics, engineer. Now, the reason is because you get a logistics, that takes down your supply by 20, and since they're paratroopers, they're going to be cut off. Depending on how you use them, they're going to be cut off for a little while until your other army units can break through. So with the logistics company, you're going to be improving the... you're going to be lowering the amount of ammunition they're firing, essentially. Just imagine it that way. And now for our last division is the Marine Division. Now, most players, what they'll end up doing is they will throw nothing but Marines in this. I don't like that. What Marines actually do on this game, it's not like paratroopers. It's not to the point where only Marines can naval invade. Any unit can naval invade. But what Marines do is they add bonuses to attacking from the sea. Amphibious attack goes up by 2%. That's the whole reason I like them. Now, pretty much the movement, attack, and everything, it's kind of leveled off here. Pretty much everywhere, except over here in amphibious, it goes up 25%. Then we got the river, the forts, that goes up a lot. And here's the reason I don't have all Marines. Let me show you here what happens if you add all these as Marines really quick here. And you'll really understand why I end up doing this. Hold on one second here. I should have just made examples, pretty much. I should have thought about that. Okay. Our defense goes down 13. Our soft attack goes up. Our breakthrough goes up a little bit. Our supply use goes down. Recovery goes up a little bit. Hit points goes down 40. So it loses 40 hit points, which means it can get destroyed a lot easier. And the infantry equipment goes up around 400. No. Yeah, I think around 400. Yeah, it goes up about 400. So if you just have a basic infantry with marine layout, you get the bonuses from attacking, and you also continue to basically use the same amount of ammunition, same amount of everything. So, yeah, guys, that was pretty much it. That was all my Hearts of Iron 4 divisions for you guys that I can recommend. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did and you find these divisions helpful, please don't forget to go ahead and post in the comment section if it helped you, what you would recommend for divisions. And also one other request, if you do not mind, if you enjoyed this video a lot and want to see more, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. And one final thing. If you guys have any requests for any Hearts of Iron 4 Officer School videos you guys want to see me do, make sure to go ahead and post them in the comments section below. And if we end up picking your idea for a video, I will go ahead and make sure that we will give you credit in the video and say, this individual gave the idea for this, so thanks to him, and then go on with the episode. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Stay awesome.